Okay. We're videoing this.
Hi, video.
Hi, video. Say hi to Videoland.
Hi.
Hello. We're gonna see if this works. So you can catch us on the YouTube. We're gonna make a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing.
Ashley's in charge of that, the producer. So this is
Executive producer?
Sure. The only producer. This is episode 17, and this one's going to be a boring one.
No, it's not. People like to hear about this shit.
Okay. This is not going to be boring at all.
Correct. It's going to be lovely.
It's going to be informational.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a lot of this stuff I've never even heard before, so.
Well.
Okay, I'm going to read the intro while Chris gets high.
Okay. I'm Finny Kush, so I should be fine.
Oh, is it like not as intense?
We'll find out.
Okay. Well, as you guys know, this is the SteinClubPodcast where we'll be tapping into all aspects of the bar business, what goes into the building and running a successful bar, including...
Not smoking in your bar.
Correct. And yeah, so everything between and behind and in front of the bar.
Yeah, all around it.
All around it. The ups and the downs.
This episode, we've all heard this term many, many, many times, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Location, location, location.
Yeah.
I looked it up and I found out this guy named Lord Harold Samuel. He was a real estate tycoon in Britain. He coined the phrase, there are three things that matter in property. Location, location, location. But then I also read that he was 14 when that phrase was coined, so they don't think it was really him. Well,
I think back then, if this was a long time ago, 14 was essentially an adult.
You died like it was in 1929 or something.
Oh.
You would think somebody would come up with that sooner.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna open beers, but we already have, as you can see from video. Oh, yeah, we already have beers open.
They can see your beer. There's mine.
Because I think I need this beer today because tomorrow is election day.
Yeah. It's weird recording the day before the election and try to not talk about it.
We might not be able to have this podcast anymore if things don't go right tomorrow.
For real.
Here's your beer, Ashley.
For real.
I'm going to be sitting at the bar all day tomorrow staring at the TV screen. Even though nothing's going to be determined yet. But we just hope for the best for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So cheers.
Prost.
God, and as always, we're drinking Bitburger, just the best beer in the world. And real quick about Bitburger, we had Megan on last week, and the whole point of it was talking about how the beer comes from Germany to our front door.
I know.
We totally missed it.
The amount of times we have missed something in every recording. Well, every recording there's something. That was a big one.
Listening to her wipe someone else's shit off her arm and her legs kind of stole the show, I guess.
It did steal the show.
But this beautiful beer comes all the way from Germany on a boat.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
That's why it's so expensive sometimes, because there's a boat involved.
Well, and I think the other side of it, and I know I bring this up a lot, but like those empty kegs, they go back to Bitburger.
They have to go back.
Like they just go, like they ship all of these shells back and forth.
So when next year when you're paying $18 for a German beer, because the tariffs are going to be put on the tariffs, they're going to tariff. Germany.
Germany's going to pay for it though, so. I know that's funny.
See,
it's informational and funny.
We got to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, let's get back to the location, because it's a really important thing. And coming with location is also you have to be able to think ahead.
Yeah.
You can't just jump into the hot spot and think you're going to fit right in. You got to think ahead. So the German word of the day today is a good one. Vorschen.
Is this one word? Uh-oh. Chris is high.
Fuck.
You can't rely on me.
Can you pronounce it Vorschandenken? Vorschandenken.
Well, Danken.
It means
something Danken.
It means this joint is Danken.
Yeah.
It means think ahead. So Vorschandenken.
Vorschandenken.
That's our German word of the day. Okay. We're really moving right along.
We are.
For those of you not watching video, you can see in the background, we have Prost, lovely Prost in the background. We're sitting at the bar top. This is where I sit every day. I figured it would be fun to do it here because it's just the two of us. And you can see the Halloween decorations in the background.
Yeah, which I'm ripping down today.
Because No more Halloween.
Yeah. Soon Christmas. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about that yet.
Okay, so I do believe that location is super important in this industry.
Yeah.
You have to know what's happening and where you're going to be at and what to expect. So you can't just put a place anywhere and hope it succeeds.
Yeah, I was actually, now that you bring that up, there's a ton of places I've seen that have incredible concepts, but they've been in the worst spots they don't make it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, these people aren't going to make it.
What I always look for is, you need density for sure.
Yeah.
You need people that are like the people that will be coming into your establishment, which means probably people that have some disposable income.
Sure.
It's not a cheap.
Yeah.
We don't do cheap stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people do and it works, but that's not what you're working on.
Right. I consider myself not only a marketing mastermind, but a visionary.
Oh, that's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were a marketing mastermind. Sorry, self-proclaimed marketing mastermind.
I'm going to explain how I am a visionary.
Okay, great.
By how I was able to choose some of these locations for our establishments. Because I think, thought out of the box a couple times.
Yeah, you definitely did. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys all know the story about Prost Finney, the first one. I saw it in a newspaper ad about it was a wine bar, and I knew this neighborhood was where I lived. But when we opened Prost, it was just a 74th Street Ale House, Ed's Courthouse, who we've talked about in episode 16.
Yeah.
Carmelita was across the street. That was a great vegetarian restaurant that people would go to once a year for their anniversary. So there wasn't a lot of competition in terms of beer, food, and drink. But there was a couple key components to the neighbor that I loved. One was a grocery store called Ken's Market.
Yeah.
Love Ken's Market.
Yes.
And a hardware store, True Value Hardware.
Yeah.
I love Greenwood Hardware now called.
Yeah, the Greenwood Hardware now. Yeah.
But when I saw those two places, I said, okay, these guys have been there for a while, and they know that people are around. And Ken's isn't cheap.
No.
So I knew they had disposable income. And
yeah.
At the point that time, 22 years ago, the old people were dying off. The young people were moving in with their kids and their strollers.
Yep.
And I was semi-visionary on that one because there was already some stuff happening, and I knew Finney Ridge was a pretty safe bet. But anyway.
It's so crazy to only think of it having a couple things like that.
Well, yeah, and the ale house was open for like 15 years before I was. So, not 15, 13.
Wow.
And when they opened, there was nothing in this neighborhood. And it was not that great. So those guys were the visionaries of Finney Ridge.
Yeah.
I can't take credit for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. It was your first location. You weren't a visionary yet. You had to practice.
I was learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now Finney Ridge is bustling.
It's crazy.
Try and find parking.
Part of the reason I was late, I parked 4 blocks away on a Monday.
And you dropped your ballot off.
I did go drop my ballots. Mine and CJ's ballots off, yes.
Is that illegal to drop off somebody else's ballot?
Oh, fuck, is it? No way.
Fucking election fraud.
No,
you just did election fraud.
It was sealed and signed.
We'll blame
by
you
him.
this week for election fraud.
Okay, well, you're right. Just blame it on me, no matter what happens.
I think it's okay that he dropped off his ballot.
Okay, thank God. Because I did.
Election fraud.
I want, whatever. Blame it on me.
Okay, so now the Finney Ridge is blowing up. There's restaurants everywhere. I opened up the pizza place, Ridge Pizza, at 7217 Greenwood Avenue North. Perfect to-go food for the election tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be packed.
Yeah, I bet you we'll do a lot of to-go business because we're gonna get a big old pie and sit there and watch Kornacki in his fucking khakis.
Prost is going to be slow.
Kornacki must be ironing khakis like fucking crazy right now.
I need my backup khakis.
Or he's doing research.
I like how you put together Kornacki and khakis. That's fun.
I didn't do it. He wears khakis. His name's Kornacki.
Yeah.
I love that guy, and I love Rachel Maddow so much.
I know. You talk about her a lot.
She has that mole on her neck that I just can't stop staring at.
It's going to pop tomorrow. It might fall off.
Everyone's head might fall off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going to talk about the election. We're talking about location.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to skip over Bierstube because that was on Roosevelt. I just kind of didn't know what I was doing yet. But the real visionary came. Mm-hmm. There was some Forschaudendenken on this one. That's good enough of that. So my manager at the time, Ray Franco, who was managing Bierstube,
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray. I hope you listen. We're going to get Ray on. I keep saying that. He called me up one morning and he said, I was watching the news last night, and I don't think I said this before on this podcast. Have I told this story before?
I don't think you have told this story.
So he said, I watched the news last night, and I saw this special about South Lake Union. And I said, I watched the same thing. And it was this awesome video that was done. It was like, South Lake Union 2021.
Yeah.
And it had like these big buildings and industry and corporate. And at that point, South Lake Union was a shithole.
Yeah. No, oh my God. I remember as a little kid, my dad would be like, lock the doors.
Warehouses and hookers and drugs. And it was really bad. And, Paul Allen, who is a visionary, was a visionary. I worked for Paul Allen for a while. Did? Digio, interactive television.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Visionary. I had to go sell a product that was just in his mind still. That's why I decided to open a bar.
That's why you don't do that anymore.
So, but Paul Allen, he approached the city of Seattle and said he wanted to build a green belt, kind of like Central Park.
Yeah, like an extent. Okay.
Because this property, South Lake Union, butts right up onto the South Lake Union, the actual lake.
Well, in Denny Park, that park right there on Westlake and Denny is the oldest standing park in Seattle still.
Right.
City Park.
Okay.
So it's
location.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like that whole area.
No, but Paul Allen wanted to go, and he on his own money was going to, some of the city's money, build this awesome, beautiful park that goes to the lake and connects all the way to downtown, and it was going to be super awesome. And our lovely city council turned it down. They said, "Sorry, Paul, take your $10 billion you're going to give the city to build this beautiful park and shove it up your ass." And he said,
"That checks out."
He said, "Fuck you, city of Seattle. I'm going to build my own neighborhood."
Yeah, I'll do it anyways.
Allentown, they call it.
Yeah.
So anyway, on this show, it talked about Paul Allen's vision and how they're going to change this part of the city that really sucked into something really awesome. So they had a visitor center that they built, a movable, relocatable visitor center.
Which just stayed in the same location.
It stayed in the same location. They could have moved it if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So
that space was cool.
Ray and I decided the next morning to go to this visitor center and check it out and just see what's up. And it was so modern and badass. And we're just two bar guys. We walk in and we're greeted by these two lovely ladies in like business suits behind this big desk. And they're like, "Can we help you?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm just a dumb restaurant guy and saw the thing on TV last night and thought we'd check it out."
Why not?
And they said, "We're glad you're here." And I think I told the story on the podcast. It sounded familiar, but I told it a lot. We go to this little room, and the door's shut, and this big video comes on, and it was a better video than the one that was on the news. And then the doors open, and then these lovely ladies take us to this big model of South Lake Union and had lights and all the different things where they were going to be doing the different neighborhoods.
With that model?
The model was super awesome.
It's really cool.
And I'm like, holy shit, this guy is going to do this. So Ray went home, and I walked around the neighborhood and saw a building that had broken ground on Yale Avenue North, and it wasn't a Paul Allen building, which I was excited about because Paul Allen had a lot of stuff. It was a small developer called Seamark Industries, and I called this guy Jeff Seamark, who was the principal of the whole construction process in the company, and I said, "Hey, I just walked by your construction site. It looks pretty cool. I might want to open a restaurant there." He's like, "Oh, well, we've already got a Thai food under contract, Thai food restaurant under contract." He's like, "But what's your idea?" And I told him, and we met at Bierstube for a beer the following day and had a couple beers. I told him the idea for Feierabend, and he loved it.
Oh, I never knew that there was something else kind of tied into it before you. Tied into it?
You get it? Where's my rim shot? So anyway, so he loved it. And I said, "Fuck, let's do this." So we signed a lease, and it was my first time dealing with a real company because I built Prost, SteinClub, Bierstube, SteinClub, under the radar, not really pulling permits and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But this was a real build out, and at the time, South Lake Union had nothing but now construction and crack whores. Yeah,
it was still the problem was still there, for sure. Yeah.
So we built up Feierabend. I had to get a hard hat. I got yelled up from the construction management manager guy, Earl, this old guy, Earl.
Earl.
I showed up with flip-flops and no hard hat one day. Fucking
What the
He
fuck?
literally said, "What the fuck are you doing here?" So I had to buy a hard hat and boots.
Yeah.
So that was the start.
That's the start.
That was the start, and now I have boots.
And now you
Yep.
luckily wear boots when you play with steel.
Yeah, because I did the other day, and I
Yeah.
dropped a piece of steel on my foot.
Right on top of your foot, but you had still put toed boots on.
Yep.
Good for you.
So we opened Fire Robin, and it was just us and Patty Coins, which was a lovely Irish bar.
Yep.
Brand new also, and this little store called REI.
Oh yeah, that old thing.
Yeah, yeah. We just go there and get the world wraps. They had world wraps.
I loved that place when I
Yeah.
was a kid. Oh my god.
But that was the only food in South Lake Union.
Yeah.
But there was also no people in South Lake Union
No.
yet. Not really any.
No.
There were 90 people that were above us at Fire Robin. It was
It's like a mixed
apartment.
use.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was people above Patty Coins, but they were building like crazy.
Yeah. Doesn't Patty Coins have a Stein Club punch card thing?
They're closed.
Don't they have a second location in Bellevue? Am I wrong?
I think they're all closed.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good story, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so
Well, I worked in South Lake Union.
that's right. You were at Two
So, yeah, I worked at all of them. We've talked about this, but I worked at that one the most, and I was there as a server. I was still in college. I worked there as a server when we opened, which I was trying to rack my brain on the exact date, but I think it was summer 2007. So maybe a year-ish after you had opened,
that ties into it.
give or take.
Mm-hmm.
And I, as you know, I went to Fire Robin almost immediately, so I became a Friday night 2-liter person.
Well, that's how you met
Yeah.
us.
But Tudabella, which sad fact, that location just closed yesterday. But they're moving. They moved to a different location. So
South Lake Union, it grew and grew and grew.
yeah,
And they built condos and apartments and
It was
other
crazy.
storefronts, and we had to deal with construction the whole time we
the
were there
whole
for
time.
15 years.
Hey, but there was free parking back then.
There was free parking. That's right.
I used to park for free, like a block from my bar.
Then they
from
built
my
the
restaurant.
swale on Yale, and they took up half the parking, and all. There was a lot of stuff, a lot of growing pains.
Yeah.
But we successfully had a restaurant there for 15 years, and it was a badass motherfucker. And then during the construction, Amazon moved in. The whole company said, "This is our new corporate headquarters," and we're like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit!"
Yeah, I remember when they built their first building down there. It was across the street from Tudabella, like next to the Discovery Center that you're talking about on Denny.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy. They built this huge space, and the first location had just like how do I put this kindly? The most socially dysfunctional Amazon employees.
Oh yeah. Well,
No, the worst one. Like socially.
I know they would come in with their badges.
I know.
From Cubicle 84,
And this is before they fully moved in. So these are like just the pioneers of the Amazon.
We love Amazon.
Yeah. No, we do love Amazon. I'm not talking shit.
Even Jeff Bezos had a quote about location, location, location. He said, the three most important things in retail is location, location, location. The three most important things in business is technology, 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 or something like that.
But his location is the internet. So
Yeah.
which you
I
invented.
love the internet.
Which you invented.
I did invent the internet. So anyway, 15 years went by, and Jeff Seamark, I said Scott Seamark, it was Jeff.
Okay.
He told me when he built it, he was never going to sell it. Spent $15 million building the complex, and sold it 6 years later for $86 million.
Ruh-ruh.
So then I had to deal with a large commercial company out of California who sucked and wouldn't give us any rent
Yeah.
abatement during COVID. And Amazon moved out because everyone was working from home.
Yeah.
So we decided to close Fire Robin in 2022, 21.
Fuck,
but that's
I don't
okay.
know. It was a black hole of pandemic.
But I really think that between us, Patty Coins, and REI, we transformed a neighborhood that was shit
yeah, that corner you guys were in
It
was
was
really
rough.
weird. It was a weird area.
into what it is now.
Yeah.
And that's why you always have to think ahead
Yeah.
for shining Danken, or whatever that word is. I don't know.
I don't know.
German Mark, if Mark Vegas is listening, he'll correct me on my German.
Wow, you're high.
This Vinny Kush actually is better than I thought it was. Okay, let's continue on with my vision quest.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously you opened a whole bunch of other.
So the next one's funny because there was this little punk ass kid named Dan Hart. who's now my business partner in Portland. But he
Punk
was
ass kid.
His little brother of our good friend Jamie Hart, and he got to know us through Jamie, who's a dear friend of ours. Hi, Jamie, in
Hi,
Eugene. Anyway, so he loved the Prost bars, and he was a career bartender with not much going for him.
In Portland, though, correct?
In Portland, yeah. And he's like, I want to open a Prost in Portland. And I said, no fucking way. I have 3 bars. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to go to business with this guy because didn't really know him and seemed kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
You know, if you guys know Dan, he's kind of sketchy. Anyway, so he kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. And I said, fine, go look for a space, Dan. Go look around for something. And he'd report back with this and that. And I'd shoot him down. And I said, no more Prost, man. I'm done. And then I opened Prost West Seattle.
Was he pissed?
He was pissed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had no right to be pissed. I said, well, Dan, location. The perfect spot opened up in West Seattle. And if you have an opportunity, you have to jump on it. And he took that and he found us an opportunity in Portland. And after looking at, 24 places that all kind of sucked and shot him down, he walked me up to this spot on the corner of Mississippi and Skidmore.
Yeah.
Northeast Portland. It was rough as hell.
Yeah.
But this guy was rebuilding this condemned building, and it looked like a perfect Prost.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. And I had to tell Dan, okay, let's do this. Turned out okay. Yeah, it turned out okay.
Do you prefer with the travel? Do you prefer to take the bridge to West Seattle or a plane to Portland? Just the travel. I'm not
plane to
talking about
Portland.
Yeah, I was going to say. I know you're going to say plane to Portland.
If they had a plane to West Seattle, I'd
You
go to
would
that
take
bar
it.
more often. They're releasing the air taxi. Have you seen these things?
What?
They're fucking like Tesla taxis that fly. Yeah.
You'd get in one of those?
Mm-hmm. I don't.
There's a little hesitation.
I don't
in your
think
voice?
there's a pilot either. I think, and they're supposed to launch for the 2026 Summer Games in Los Angeles. Can you imagine? I'm just taking my little lift helicopter to Prost West Seattle.
Just like runs into another helicopter.
They're smarter than that. So anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
So West Seattle
Robots.
was open.
Robots.
And Dan then showed more of his commitment. He would drive all the way up from Portland to Prost West Seattle when we opened to help us open it. And he would bartend.
Oh, that's cool.
1 or 2 days a week and then drive back down to Portland. And, he always says, this is how we do it in Portland, but this is how we do it at Prost. And he learned the Prost way and found the location. And Mississippi and Skidmore was rough. There was nothing there.
Yeah, also crazy because now it's so busy.
Yeah.
Mississippi's great.
Well, yeah, because we were a visionary.
Yeah.
And
You're proving it a little bit here now. I will admit that.
so we built Prost out. TJ, if you're listening, he helped build the whole bar. He actually had appendicitis while building it.
No way.
Yep.
In Portland?
Yep. While he was working. So Prost Portland is now 15 years old. I think they had their 15th anniversary.
Yeah, just
and I was
last
with TJ and Missy in Boise last week, and he's like, wow, that means I haven't had an appendix
for 15
for
years.
15 years. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
You see TJ asking about his appendix.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he doesn't have it.
No, doesn't have it.
Yeah.
So we built the bar, opened the bar, and it was fine. I mean, there were still drug dealers and hookers and all the fun stuff of a new upcoming neighborhood. But
Right.
Prost was a success out of the gate just because of what we built up here and of Dan's reputation. He used the Facebook machine. And when we were doing
Facebook, huh?
construction, I'd be swinging a hammer and building shit, and he'd be on his computer on the Facebook machine. I said, what are you doing? Do something to help Bill open this bar. And he's like,
I am.
we have like 6,000 followers on Facebook, and we're not even open yet. And I said, who cares?
That
He's
is
like,
a
all we're going to
huge
do is
deal.
press one button when we open, and the place will be packed. And we opened, he pressed one button, and the place was packed. I swear to God.
No, I believe it. That's
swear to God.
that's when, not to say you weren't a fan of social media before that, but do you think that's when you were like, okay, shit?
Yep.
Because you hound us on the social medias. Rightfully so. I'm not trying to say it's not.
I think it was a little more important back then because it was just Facebook, and now there's so much out there we
I
can't even
agree.
keep track of.
I agree.
Especially YouTube.
Yeah.
There, YouTube.
You.
Yeah, YouTube. So when we opened, it was busy, and we thought we were doing a great thing. And we get a letter from the city council, and the neighborhood council, the neighborhood had complained to the city council about Prost because people were getting
Because they were
drunk.
having a fun time.
Yep, and maybe peeing on their bushes. And we had to go sit in front of city council and the neighbors glaring at us and defend our little bar.
Oh, my God.
And, it was great because we got to eyeball some neighbors who we already knew who were bitching, but we told them that there might be some guy pissing on your bush, but they're not selling crack or blowing the fucking other guy in the alley.
Yeah, they're not what was here before.
There's no...
Who were also
they're
peeing
not
on your
shooting
bushes.
guns
Those
and
people
all
were
that
also
stuff.
peeing, yeah.
So we told them that we're helping the neighborhood cause, and we have the same vision of Mississippi that they had.
Yeah.
And they kind of went for it. And we even said, you know what, we're going to pay for a private security guard to roam the neighborhood for a year just to make sure our customers aren't peeing on your bushes and your cars aren't getting broken into.
Yeah, good call.
And we ingratiated ourselves into the neighborhood, and now Mississippi is fucking booming.
Yeah.
I mean, there are restaurants and bars and awesome clothing stores and boutiques and coffee shops. Mississippi's rad. We also own another bar there called Inner Urban.
Yeah. That's just like a couple blocks down?
Couple blocks down. Fancy cocktail place. It does well, and Prost kicks serious ass, and all the other businesses are thriving on that street. And, visionary.
Yeah, it's such a destination in Portland now for people to go to that area. It's a good stumbling drinking area, shops.
Fantastic. So we kind of gentrified the neighborhood, which some people are like, well, what are you doing? Where are we going to live? And
their property values went up.
Their property values went up, and so their property tax.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
The world's got to keep turning.
Yeah. And Dan and I are fortunate enough to buy both those properties, too. So we own dirt in Mississippi, and other than location, own the dirt if you can.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to deal with landlords.
If it's right.
If it's right.
Do you own interurban land as well, or you're just talking about the pod? Okay.
No, we bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, because next door to Prost is the food pod, which is probably one of the best food pods in Portland.
I agree. The barbecue place is badass. And also Blood Buzz, our coffee cocktail bar, is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, visionary.
All right. Ashley, you talk about something. I'm tired of talking for a second.
Well, we were talking about like location, and it makes me think about when I worked. Because did you know that my 10-year anniversary with you is in like 2 weeks?
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Remember that time when you were
no.
giving Joe and Ashley of Russell's shit for having employees for 10 years?
It was a setup.
I know. It was pretty bad. Anyways, okay, that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is before I worked for Chris, I worked for Tutabella. Again, you all know that. But I worked at all the locations, and the owner of Tutabella, Joe, he was really passionate about trying to open locations in intensely diverse neighborhoods. So actually, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when Tutabella opened in Crossroads, which is the first Tutabella in the original location, that it was the zip code there is 98118, and at the time when they opened, it was the most diverse zip code in the United States.
Wow.
Which is kind of nuts because you're like...
You did your fact checking.
Yeah, you would assume it'd be somewhere in like New York or maybe somewhere in even LA or something like that, but no, it was Columbia City, which is kind of crazy.
I'm going to restart the video. I think it stopped.
Okay. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah.
Boise, the city's great. Idaho, Idaho, I don't know. I'm definitely not going to be there on election day. Just put it that way. So my good buddy Zach Malang, I'm going to do my South Carolina accent, or North Carolina. I'm not sure what Carolina he's from, but he's got a good accent. And he owns the Matadors, which we love the Matadors. They have done so much, and they're all over the place still. But he had a place in Boise, Idaho that he opened up, and he calls me up one day and said, "Yo, Chris." I said, "What's up, Zach? Man, you got to check out this Boise, man. It's kicking." And I said, "Okay, that sounds good. Let's check out Boise." That's when Missy and TJ were looking to relocate, and we met out in Boise, Idaho. And sure shit, man, Matador was packed. We went there, checked it out, and they were on 8th Street. and we decided to open up a Prost in Boise. But it took us. We talked about it when I was there. I think it was 2 years to find the location.
Like you were really set on the city and
Right.
the vibe,
Yep.
so much so that you never gave up because you knew you'd find something.
Yeah, I think it might have been 6 months. 6 months, 2 years.
Okay.
We took our time, and we looked at a lot of spots, probably 10, 12, 14 spots. And we waited for the right location to open up. And sure as shit, it did. It was right on 8th Street, which is downtown Boise, right across the street from Matador, a little dress store that we turned into Prost.
That's cool.
It's 850 square feet with a patio, and that place fucking cranks. And Zach Malang, I owe you one, man.
Yeah, you do, really.
Yeah,
I will
do.
say, like, don't take this the wrong way because it's okay to admit this, but a lot of the places that you have opened, not all of them, but they've been like little hints or nudges from other people.
Well, yeah, you have to look ahead.
And that's okay.
You got to take what they say and then apply your own metrics to it and say, this can work.
Because that's still a huge gamble to trust somebody else's word.
Well, I checked it out. I did my research.
Yeah.
It took 6 months to 2
Yeah.
years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we decided on the spot, and we started construction. And during our visits to Boise, we'd always go to this place called Pre-Funk. It was a beer bar, counter service beer bar. It was, a really big deal in Boise because they're about 15 years behind we are in Seattle, I think.
So they
10
they
years.
were just getting into craft beer, maybe.
Correct, yeah. And this place had everything. And it was on the corner of Front Street and 13th, I think it is what it is. And it's way out of town. Like there was nothing around at all. But I'm like, this is a good spot. I think they need to execute better, but it could be really busy here. So during our process of that, when Prost was open now, we said, yeah, we need to get more into Boise. We decided to, we went into partnership with Pre-Funk. Turned out the partnership didn't work out, and we took it over and opened Matlack's.
Nice.
Smoked meat shop. Really good. But we opened a month before COVID.
Yeah. Like literally.
February.
Yeah, February.
So anyway, it was rough in Matlack's for a while, and I was just there, and they have done so much building around it. I stayed at the Renegade Hotel. A lovely little German lady checked me in, this older lady, and she loves Prost.
Oh, that's so random.
I said, "You're German and you love Prost? You don't
not-
want to just make fun of the things that I did wrong, and she was so sweet. Anyway, the Renegade Hotel is badass. I recommend checking it out. They're really awesome. Opened up. They're building a Marriott right across the street. They're building a condo complex that has like 1,200 units. Another condo complex is being built around us, and it took only about 10 years. Not with Matlack's, but just for that neighborhood. When I saw it, going, this is going to happen because Boise was growing so big. So now Matlack's is cranking.
That's great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Because I remember sometimes you were like, oh, boy.
Well, yeah. You open a business to make money, period.
Well,
and when you have to pay the business to stay open, that sucks.
Yeah.
But you have to be patient. It doesn't always happen right away. Like I've been very, very fortunate in some of the businesses that I've opened and that have been successful from day one. And sometimes you don't get it right.
Yeah.
And you have to determine if you want to keep pushing it, if you believe in it. We had the situation with Echo and with Martino's, and we knew that it was not going to work.
Well, and even Fire Albin, too. Like, when is it the time to call quits?
When the landlord would not give us any rent
Correct.
abatement and was charging us like...
That one, I think, was pretty flat, and that was pretty obvious. But, I can't imagine being in your shoes and trying to figure out, like, when is that point that you just make the decision? Like, because you're like, no, I don't want to give up, right?
Well... We'll see.
You've done it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It might be done again. You never know. It has to.
Yeah.
You have to know when to give up and when to fight.
Yeah.
I'm glad we fought for Matlack's because Boise's super rad. We have another North End Pizza up on Hyde Park in North End of Boise, which is super rad. And Boise's a great town.
Yeah.
So
North End Pizza is like kind of an extension of Ridge Pizza.
Just like the Ridge.
Yeah.
Just different name.
Yep.
Recommend going to all the locations, going to Boise, checking out, staying at the Renegade. Have a nice time. I showed a picture of that shower in my hotel room.
Yeah, that thing was freaky.
Fucking look up sex shower on the internet. The fucking thing was glass in the middle of the room with like
And that's going to come
framed
up?
glass. Yeah,
Something like it.
after my stay there, it will.
Jesus Christ. Because you're going to be
I couldn't
you're going
even.
to be the first hit.
I couldn't even take a shower. I was so freaked out. And
It was weird. It was glass on all sides.
I would never have sex in that shower because I'd probably break a hip
Yeah. No, I don't like
and
that.
break through the.
Yeah.
Break through the, check me out, honey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smash.
Smash.
My wife said she does listen to the podcast, but I don't think so.
Well, that's interesting because you really put me into some precarious positions.
What do you mean?
You know, like, anyways, yeah. Let's continue. You know, like me, like rummaging through your fucking house, even though I don't do that, Kristen. I don't fucking do that, okay? I would never do that.
Okay, then how did you know? What was it the other day you said, oh, yeah, that's in this part of your house?
I don't remember where it was, but I remember seeing it because it was fucking weird.
What was it?
Well, do you want me to bring it up on the podcast?
I don't remember what it was. Whisper it to me. Oh. Teeth, yeah. We keep Sonia's old baby teeth in a really weird spot in our master bathroom.
It's in your bathroom?
Well, you were in there. You saw it.
No, it's not in your bathroom.
It's in our bathroom on the wall in a picture frame with Sonia as a baby.
No. Okay, well then maybe next
time
maybe
you go to my
someone
house,
else does
snoop
this.
snoop
I did
bit
not go in your
more.
bathroom. No, that would freak me out. Just walking into your room, I was like, turn around.
Put the underwear on.
No, I didn't do
Chris.
that. Didn't do that. Again,
I don't have a robe. Sorry.
again, Kristen, if you're listening, I did not do that.
Where are we at?
I'm very serious. We're about. You got to talk about Bend, your final location, because apparently you're not opening anything else.
Mm-mm.
Oops, I did it again.
So Ben was a funny one. This might not be a visionary moment for myself because I love Bend. First time I went there was 10, 12 years ago. Loved it.
It's a cool town.
Beer
And it's
everywhere.
busy year round. Like they've got the winter and the summer vibes
Yeah,
going.
and it smells that fresh pine. It smells so nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Dan and I, we wanted to open a Bend Prost, and we went out there 7 years, I think. Maybe once or twice a year just to check it out, meet with a realtor, look at some spots. But I was never impressed. Like downtown Bend, it's a ghost town at night.
Yeah.
And there were all these breweries, and we check out these neighborhoods where these breweries are at, and we just didn't find it. So we didn't force it. I mean, we had the opportunity to force it, but decided not to and take our time. We were busy with the existing businesses. But then we found our spot right there on Century Boulevard, and the owner, which I talked about in the COVID podcast, was really awesome, and we said we had to do it. We have to do it. And it was, out of downtown. It's next to some other breweries, but, it's like a residential area on a busy street that leads out to Bachelor. So I'm like, okay, this might be good. And then COVID, of course, hit, and our opening was fucked up because of COVID, and we're still trying to claw and fight.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones. Bend is weird because half the people are gone half the year.
Yeah.
Well,
they are, but you still get the tourists and like people coming to town.
But the tourists are tough.
Yeah, they are. No, I agree with that.
But anyway, it's doing well than before.
Yeah.
But this location, it might not be it. And maybe Bend in general is not it because there's 29 breweries now that all have, brew houses and brew pubs attached to them, and people like their stuff that they do, and it's hard to get people to try something different.
Yeah.
So we're getting it. We're bringing in some of the local brewery guys. The brewers come in, and I think it'll be fine. And I think we're going to do just great. But again, it took us 8 years to find that spot. And
how long has it been open now? It opened around Oktoberfest.
It opened during COVID. So
3 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yep. So it takes time.
Yeah.
And we have good partners and good management now, and an awesome chef and GM, and we had a great Oktoberfest. It was great.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of fun down there. I know we talked about that a bit.
So that's going to work, but again, 8 years it took to find the thing,
Yeah.
So. Okay, what else we got here? I guess we can talk. There's no need to talk about the other stuff. I think we touched on some good ideas, locations, visions. The location thing, I really believe it. But I think more you have to envision.
Yeah.
That because if you're going to go to the hottest location, like right now, if you're going to open up something on Ballard Avenue,
Right.
because that's where everyone's at, you're going to have to compete with the people that are there already, and you're going to pay out the ass in rent because they know they can get it. And that's why you see a lot of turnover on Ballard Avenue, because people have their routines and their stuff, and it's so expensive. So when you find a spot that's not completely hitting yet, you're going to pay a lot less in rent, which is very, very important, which is going to be a secret to your success. And then you, as the business owner, build the neighborhood to what you want it to be.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I am the official, unofficial mayor of Finney Ridge.
Yeah.
Taking action, getting results.
Yeah. Is that your slogan?
Yes. Pastor Paul came up with that one.
Vote Navarra.
Yeah.
2024.
No, thank you.
No, you're already in.
But I wanted this neighborhood to be a certain way, and I opened places that I think would brought that to this neighborhood, and just my, I don't know, my involvement in what happens in this neighborhood is really important. So find your spot, take your time, vision, and hopefully it comes through.
Yeah. No, I think you nailed it. I mean, I think, what was the German word of the day many episodes ago where you were like, not the self-built one, but you've talked many times about how like you can't open a business and then not be actively involved.
Yeah.
That's not, especially nowadays, it's not going to happen.
Or you have people that are actively involved for you.
Yeah. Well,
I don't go to all the places, but I'm actively involved in the people that run it and co-owners.
I guess what
partners.
I mean too is especially when you were first starting off, you were very involved in all, like probably the first 4 or 5 that you even opened.
And now this podcast consumes my life.
It does. It does indeed.
It does indeed. So we're going to tune off now. We're at 41 minutes. It's not that bad. I thought it was going to be longer.
It's a little longer. I forgot to hit the record button on the...
44 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn off the YouTube.
Bye.
Bye. Prost, as we say. Prost, Ashley.
Oh, yeah. Prost. One more.
We need a sign off.
Oh, we got
Bad friends have, thank you for being a bad friend.
Okay, we'll come up with a good one. You guys stay tuned. We're going to come
Maybe
up
you guys
with
can send me an email that I don't check at SteinClubPodcast@gmail.com with your ideas for our sign off. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, he truthfully doesn't check it. I'm serious.
I don't check it. All right. Peace.
Nice.
It's burpy. It's a hammy.
It's not in your beard anymore.
Maybe my crown's still in the beard.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Fuck. Maybe it's right here. Outtakes. Okay. You ready?
Yes.